Good morning. In this video we are going to harvest the rest of my Yukon Gold potatoes and discuss some of the mistakes that I made this year raising my potatoes and why this is probably going to be a disappointment. Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave. So welcome to Bowtie Life, and where we talk mostly about life in the garden. Please do subscribe to Bowtie Life on YouTube if you have not done so already. We cover all kinds of things like this throughout the year. I am in Destin, Florida, Zone 9B, which means we grow year-round. So we always have content to make. In fact, I really enjoy making content and bringing it to you. I'm not the great gardener. I am trying, I'm learning, and I invite you to learn along with me. So please subscribe, and those of you who have subscribed, I want to thank you personally because you've helped make Bowtie Life what it is today. So before I waste any more time, we're going to bring the wheelbarrow right here, and we're going to dump out these grow bags. Each one of these grow bags, I originally had 9. There is a part 1 to this, and in fact I'll put in the cards up here in the corner if you're on a device that gets cards. Some devices don't do cards, like a Roku TV does not do cards. There are a few devices that do, but if you're on a computer or on your phone, you'll be able to see the link up in the upper right corner, and you can click on that and go to the part 1 video that kind of goes along with this. It was the reveal of how disappointing this may be. So let me go ahead and get the wheelbarrow over here, and I'll talk about what mistakes I made. And this is, here we go. You can see back over my shoulder here is the 3 bags we emptied 2 weeks ago today on the 15th of June. And Bowtie Mark helped me empty those 3 bags, and we basically just dump them into the wheelbarrow. And some of you may recognize this from a year or 2 ago. It hasn't been on very many of my videos, but this is a rescue. You know, you wonder where I get all my trays, and I have a lot of trays and crystal bowls and stuff that I use in the garden. Go to your local charity shop and find stuff. This was like $5, under $5 actually, and I got all kinds of crystal bowls and fancy looking stuff. Casserole dishes is great. So anyway, we're going to be using this to hold the potatoes. In fact, I don't want to set them there in the sun. We'll put them over here. But basically, all I had to do, come through here, empty out the bag. Now this here is potato, spent potato, but there's a lot of grass in here, which I'm a little discouraged about. But that leads me into what I want to discuss in this is the mistakes I made in growing these potatoes. Now this is the 3rd year I've tried to grow, in 4 years that I've tried to grow potatoes. I grew them 2 years, I grew them 2 years, I missed a year because I just had so much trouble. And this year, had a little trouble, but it was okay. The yield was less as far as the ratio between the yield and the seed. But I know why. I think I know why. In fact, there was a commenter on one of that last video that said one very important thing that I agree with wholeheartedly, that they always wait 90 days until they harvest their potatoes, and I think I should have. Now, these are wormies. Nice. Let's get you right back in your safe spot here. Oh, there's another one under my finger. Oh, there's one. Looky there. But anyway, so these are Yukon Gold. Oh, no, man, this thing is full of worms. I can't get over this. Tons of them. That tells you that it's healthy soil. That's whoa! Look at these guys. Look at that. He's huge. Well, he wasn't so huge. One of the earlier ones was bigger. So anyway, the mistakes I made, and I'm recording this. Maybe you'll learn something. I've learned something. Problem is, I'm a ADDer. I don't remember things very well. And so I started making these videos as my personal log. Now I've tried the you know, the apps. I've tried writing in a journal. I've tried just taking pictures. Nothing really helped me the way I had hoped that it would, as far as keeping track of things in the garden and things I learned. My brain doesn't work that way. That's all it is to it. But what I found, making these videos and posting them on this channel, I go back and watch these all the time. Sometimes in the morning when I'm getting ready for work, I'll actually turn on my channel and watch my videos, and they'll remind me of things. I'll be doing stuff and going in there and doing my do's, getting ready, getting dressed, brushing my teeth, and all that stuff. And with the video playing in the background, it'll remind me of something. I'll stop right there. I'll go out and do a 30-second to 5-minute task, and then go back to where I was and finish my morning. But now we're getting a few potatoes here out of this bag. So anyway, that's why I do these videos, and that's my goal with these is to remind myself the lessons that I learned. And so this is not just for you, this is for me. I guarantee I will be watching this video sometime early next spring, and it's going to remind me, oh, I got to get those potatoes planted a little earlier this time. I planted them on, there's the tag right here. What timing, right? I planted these on April 12th of this year. And we are on 64 plus 14, 88 days right now. And these potatoes are not going to be the 90-day potatoes I'm hoping to get next year. But I need to get these things in the ground before that day, before April 12th. In fact, if I get them in March 12th, would be a good idea. So one reason I really like the grow bags. In fact, Simplify Gardening, Tony O'Neill, he did his thing on growing potatoes in those containers and blew me away. And I had already started using these 10-gallon grow bags. And by the way, I get these, a set of 20 of these, or used to, on Amazon for like $40. So $2 a piece. That's a big old pot for $2. And now I do like the bag feature, and that is unique to my situation. Here's the deal. So, and I've put a lot of thought into this, and I have some theories on why I like them so much. The bags may not work everywhere. If you're living in a very dry climate, the bags may dry out too soon for you. We here in Florida, I am just a few blocks from the water, the Gulf of Mexico right over there. Being here by the water is a very humid environment. And I hear people say, oh yeah, we're getting up to 45%, my brother, we're getting up to 55% humidity. It's humid today. And I'm thinking, we sit at 90% humidity a lot of the year. And I'm thinking, boy, if only our humidity was that low, it'd be a dream. But anyway, because our humidity is so high, I think that the grow bags will actually retain moisture a lot longer. And so I think for our situation here in Florida, in humid Florida, it actually hangs on to a lot of the moisture in the soil. Now, this stuff has not been watered in about a week, and I can still feel there's a little moisture in here. Now, it's not enough to clump, but there is still, I can feel moisture in here. It's definitely not hydrophobic. Definitely not. So, basically, my observations. So, I hear people say, oh, don't use grow bags, they dry out. Well, you know what? I bet if you lived in the desert, edge of nowhere, grow bags, I could not see them using it without some heavy-duty irrigation, because, their grow bags would dry out in no time. No doubt. I have zero doubt. So they use containers over there. But anywhere you got like really humid conditions, there's a little one. Anywhere you got really humid conditions, though, I just think the grow bags are awesome. Now, one of the reasons why I think, and I've said this before in some of my other videos, and if you haven't watched my videos, please do subscribe so you don't miss anything. Go back and look at the channel, because I use, there's a seed potato right there. It's all squishy. I use a heavy amount of playlists, so you can search my playlist for topics. I forget how many I've got. I got way too many of them, but I don't think so, because it helps me find topics. And remember, these videos are for me, so it helps me find my topics that I need to refresh myself on. Of course, you can always search the channel for any video or topic you want to, but what I'm doing is I'm just going through here making sure I didn't leave any potatoes. Sometimes the little tiny ones will get left, and also pulling out some of these. That's a little bit of clover. I like clover, but not in my grow bags. Gets a little crowded in them. Anyway, so I use a lot of playlists, and you're welcome to browse the channel and browse the playlist. That's what they're there for. So the mistakes I made here, obviously not using a grow bag in my environment, but I planted these in April. I should have planted them a month sooner. That's the first thing. The package, I was running through websites trying to figure out what is the harvest time on these Yukon Gold, and I found 65 to 70 days was the harvest time. At 64, no, and so these potatoes have grown prolifically. They have been the best looking plants. I didn't know I could grow plants that look that good. In fact, I'll see if I can find a video and pop in right here of them in the sun, loving life. And they were big, and then as the weather got hotter, I moved them under the shade cloth back in the back of the raised gardens, and they thrived there as well. Now, we did have a few storms that blew them over, and they would just grow right back up, and then blew it over again. I think twice it got blown over. So when it came time, about 10 days before I was going to harvest, I think it was about 10 days. I don't know exactly, but I think it was about 10 days. I went out and looked, and I stopped the watering on these grow bags. So that would have been 24 days ago. And I left them not getting extra water. They did get a little bit, but not extra water. They didn't get extra water for a while, which is okay. That's what I was planning on. I am looking for the tag. Oh, here it is. I'm separating out these bags because I want to kind of know how many I got from each bag. Anyway, so I stopped watering at, say, 54 days. And they looked beautiful. They were big. I mean, they were in the grow bag. They were up to here on me. I couldn't believe it. Well, if you look at that first part, and here I'll show you my see if I can pop in a video here of my disappointing harvest, because it was very disappointing. I don't get embarrassed over this stuff, but it was disappointing. What is this? I wonder what that was. Huh. It's got a little tuber on it. I don't know. It's not a potato. Something else that was growing in here. There's a lot of roots in here. I'm going to talk about these roots in just a minute. Another benefit of the grow bags. But so anyway, I stopped the watering 10 days before. I harvested the first one, realized, oh my, it's a terrible harvest. And I'm also noticing that these potatoes, nothing is growing in the bottom few inches of this. Talk about that in a minute. Okay. Oh, there goes one. Got a lot to talk about here. But anyway, where was I? Okay, stopped watering them. Come on, get the brain together. The old ADD brain is faulty. So bear with me. Anyway, I stopped watering. I harvested the disappointing harvest and realized I should not have stopped watering so soon. I should have let it go as long as those green leaves were looking as phenomenal as they were, because they were amazing. Nothing short of just pure, ooh, what is that? Ew. They were nothing short of just purely amazing, and I really enjoyed the plants. I even saw flowers. I've never had flowers on my potatoes before. That was cool. I'm keeping as much of this soil as I can in here. But that was very cool, but the what was growing underneath was not doing well. Now I'm going to have to do a little research, find out what nutrients I need to be a little more aggressive on. There is a video, in fact I'll put in the cards here, the video of where I planted these last April. Actually made a video of me planting them. You can see me planting these very bags, 9 of them. I made the soil on that video. You see what I put into that soil, and I can see what I put in that soil, so I can go back and I can determine, okay, I need more of something. Now, there's a lot of discrepancy on things like this, but one person says I need more phosphorus, which is for roots. Someone else says I need more of something else. So I have to go to the channels that I feel are the most reliable. That's a rock. And determine which one is giving me the best information. And that's all you can do. There are so many differing opinions, and I'll be honest, differing opinions is not, it's frustrating, but differing opinions is not a bad thing. I differ on using these grow bags. If you're in a dry climate, don't use these grow bags. I don't believe. It might be a bad idea. But in our humid environment, like I said, grow bags are great. So let's talk about the grow bags again. Here's my next tag. Trying to keep these a little separated. Not going to be perfect, but I'm not really too worried. I just want to get a visual on what has grown from each bag. Anyway, so these grow bags. There is a huge advantage to growing with grow bags if you're considering them. If you're in that humid environment, there's a lot of places you can get them. Callie Kim has her smart pots. You can find tons of them. These are from GuardZen. I just found them on Amazon. As of right now, I don't have, ooh, no, that's a leaf. I don't have an Amazon storefront, but as soon as I qualify, I will, which we are getting close to. Thank you to all those who watch and who subscribe. Anyway, so these grow bags. Now, my first year, I actually grew in 5-gallon buckets with holes in the bottom, lots of holes in the bottom. And they were great. They actually did wonderful. I had 30 some odd tomato plants growing out of 5-gallon buckets on a 14-foot patio. Folks, you don't need a ton of space. We're very blessed right now to have this house. We looked for 4 years for this property, and God put it in our hands. Well, I'll tell the story about that one time. If anybody is interested, I can tell the story of how we came to this house. It was quite miraculous. Put in the comments below if you'd like to hear that story, or frankly, any other, if there's other stuff that you want to hear. I am going to start doing my morning walk in the garden. I don't know if it'll be once or twice a month, but you can log in the morning here. It is literally my morning walk, and you can chat, ask questions if you want to. Love to see you there. We just had one a few days ago. Anyway, there's a little one, little tiny potato. So these grow bags. Now I did an experiment. The second year I got grow bags because someone was talking about how great grow bags were. Okay, I'm going to use grow bags. So I put some of my tomatoes in pots and buckets, the 5-gallon buckets, and some in these 10-gallon grow bags. Okay, I know, 5-gallon versus 10-gallon. That doesn't sound fair. I doubt these are 10-gallon. Maybe I don't know. They're a different shape. They don't feel like they're 10-gallon. They feel like they might be 8.5-gallon, maybe 9. But for the purpose of my experience, they felt spearmint. They felt close enough. And so, there's a seed potato. When plants are growing in pots, those roots are growing. And they'll grow. When they hit the edge of the pot, they'll start circling. Sometimes they'll go out the holes, and they will literally, I've seen them go 6 feet away from the pot, just going out the holes underneath the mulch that I had in the area. And that's fine. They're finding nutrients. They're finding other sources. Diversity in the compost and diversity in the garden. If you look and see what nature does, nature Nature seeks diversity. It's amazing as far as sources of nutrients and biome that's living in the soil. Nature craves it. And it's a good lesson for us to learn as we study nature and what it does to thrive and look so beautiful. So anyway, these roots are looking to get more and more and more sources for what they need. And yeah, we all know that's how plants work, right? And so those roots are going to grow out and look and seek and get bigger and do what they can to survive. In the grow bags. Now I've got to find, I know I have an image of this experiment. I wasn't doing the YouTube channel then, so I didn't record a video, but I'm pretty sure I took a picture. And I have to find that picture. Yeah, that's a frustration for me, because I'm not good at dealing with the pictures. I've taken literally hundreds of thousands of pictures and I've filed most of them, but recalling them is a challenge in my brain. Anyway, so I will find that picture one day and post it, so be sure and subscribe to Bowtie Life on YouTube. Oh my goodness, I gotta show you this. Woo. 2, 3, oh, that one disappeared. 4, no, one just, oh, 5, where'd he go? Okay, so there's one worm, 2 worms, 3 worms. There was 4 and 5 there just a second ago. You know, you may not like the worms and stuff, but it's biodiversity. It's one of the first healthy things you're going to see in your soil. Well, anyway, so the tomatoes that grow in the grow bag, they grew. Yeah, we're doing potatoes, I know, but my experiment was with potatoes. And the potatoes, this is potatoes. The experiment was tomatoes. The tomatoes I grew in the bucket, they circled like they normally would. They popped out the bottom and grew for up to 6 feet. It was amazing. So it was very interesting to see, fascinating. I thought it was just beyond fascinating, and it's probably one of the reasons why I find this gardening so interesting, because there's just so many different things that happen. But when it came to the grow bag, the roots grew like they're supposed to. The roots would grow and get longer, and then they reach the edge of the soil where the grow bag is, and they would reach oxygen, and they would stop growing. They just stop growing. That's called air pruning. The roots, they literally stop growing when they detect too much oxygen. Sends a signal back up the root a little bit and says, hey, grow some more roots in another direction. So it grows roots at a slightly different angle. It gets to the edge. Hey, grow some roots in another direction. So more roots come out. And what happened was the roots that grew out in the grow bag, when I pulled them out, the plant is spent, I pulled them out of the soil, and it was like this pom-pom, like a chia pet of roots, this ball of just thick roots. And you say, well, what good is that? Remember I was saying that those roots are seeking diversity, those roots are seeking more sources? Well, if you got a whole big 10 gallons worth of soil and there's one root growing through it, it's missed a lot in there. So it's going back and it's exhausting the soil it's in, completely exhausting the soil it's in, completely. It's finding every last molecule of nutrient that it can find, which I think is amazing that a plant can adapt like that to different situations that easily. Just know, okay, I've got to grow a little different. Here we go. And it's actually a good life lesson for us, you know. How do we deal with life? What's next? Here we go. You know, just adapt. And you know, God created this earth to want to grow. God created this earth for us to learn. And so we study that and we learn from it, and we live better, more healthy lives, right? Diversity in your biome and your system is a healthier you, more disease resistant you. This channel is not really about that, but I could go on for hours about that, as I have had some life-changing health improvements. Whew. Ugh. I'm getting salt in my eyes from my sweat. It's hot out here. I'm trying to beat this sun coming over here. It's about to warm up this area. And I don't want to get in it. And I don't want to lose any potatoes. I didn't get very many from this bag at all. At all. Oh, there's a little one. I think there's little ones in that bag. Good grief. So anyway, those thicker roots that grow in the grow bag, those are very healthy roots. Very adaptive roots. And just, in my opinion, a successful lesson for myself in gardening. So, planting earlier, letting it grow 90 days instead of 64 days. Try to get that green all the way through development. And then growing them in grow bags, that was a good thing. Watering, continue watering longer. I want to try to water for 80 days instead of 54 days. See if we can harvest right around 90 days next time. Now, you know, we make plans. We say, oh, I'm going to harvest it at 90 days. Hey, if these plants are laying over dead at 85 days, I'm harvesting them. You just have to listen to your plants and study them and be a student of the garden. If you're not a student of your garden, if you're so rigid with your plans that you can't adapt a harvest day like that, then you might have some challenges. Of course, if you're a student of the garden and willy-nilly like I am, you might have some challenges. You're going to have challenges no matter how you do it. How is something like that for keeping the interest up? It's always something different. Now, I'm the kind of guy that likes consistency, but this is not consistent. This is going to do its own thing. Anyway, I'm going to just put the camera on high speed mode. If you've had any experiences with this, the person that said 90 days, if you're watching this video, check in, tell me where you're from anyway, tell me where you're from on the description, on the comments of this video. I love hearing from people. If you have any thoughts on my plans for next year, I'd love to hear. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear. If you have any suggestions for other videos that you would like to see, other content that you would like to see, I'd love to hear that. So yeah, let me go ahead and, we're halfway through. Let me go ahead and put this on high speed and we'll get through the last bags with a little ditty, and we'll talk about the harvest. So there we go. Harvest is done. 6 more bags emptied. It's about 2 pounds. Well, these 6 bags, you can see here how much kind of in each tray. There was one very disappointing bag over here with a bunch of tiny ones. Most of the others did decent. I think I'm going to be able to find enough seed potatoes. This one's definitely going to be a seed for next year. It's got lots of good eyes on it, but we'll find some. Now, as far as the whole thing, I don't know yet because I haven't weighed it yet. I didn't want to break up my tray. I will put on the bottom of the screen here. It was around 2 pounds from the first 3 bags, and then it'll be whatever this is from this bag. I'll put here on the screen, and the total for the year. I did get a 5-pound bag of potatoes from Irish Eyes. This is no reflection on Irish Eyes, folks. This is a reflection of the idiot who didn't know how to grow potatoes. That's all. And so they were great. They responded to my request for potatoes at a point where potatoes were not available. They had some of the Yukon Gold, which is the only thing we've grown, because that's our very favorite. And so Irish Eyes has been great. I have nothing at all, not even a hint of anything to say about them, but good. So that's about it, though. I just wanted to show you what I did. So the 3 things that I did wrong, I planted about a month too late. I stopped watering too soon, way too soon. I harvested too soon. I should have let them go longer. And there's another thing in there in this that's already been in this video. I'll put the list right here. But yeah, I'm learning. Join along with me. Feel free to learn along with me. We'll get this right yet. Hopefully next year we'll do better. I don't know if I'll be able to use these for seed potatoes next year or not, or if I'll have to get a little bit more. But I do want to try this again. I'm going to repeat the same procedure I did in the other video when I planted them. You can see that video from April 12th and see what I did. And I will be figuring out what I am going to do different to try to make it better. Anyway, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. You know, a big thing to do that you can do to help grow the channel. Yeah, we talk about liking, we talk about commenting. You can also share this video on your social media. I can actually see in the stats how many people are sharing. Not who. I can't see that you're sharing it with whoever, but I can see how many people are sharing this video. And it's very encouraging because a lot of you are sharing these videos, and thank you. That's just very cool. That's one of the best ways to grow the channel. So thank you for those who have subscribed. Thank you for commenting. Tell me what you want to see in other videos. Y'all have a blessed day.